Hi friends, if you are looking to invest in index funds, in this video we will look at a quick primer on what are index funds, how to invest in them and how to do SIP in them. Now index is a very simple concept. As you see on my screen over here, there is something called Nifty Bank, which is Bank Nifty. Similarly, there is a Nifty 50. These are groups of stocks that have been selected based on certain criteria and have been added to a certain group called an index. Now, index investing basically means that all the stocks that are currently in an index or all the instruments that are in an index, you will simply invest in all of them depending on their weightage in the index. So every instrument, in this case, let's assume stocks, when they enter an index, they carry certain weightage. For example, Nifty 50 may have the top 50 companies and the top few companies will have higher weightage. The companies showing up at the bottom section will have lesser weightage, but all of them are part of Nifty 50. Investing in Nifty 50 as an index basically means you are buying all of these stocks. Now, instead of going and buying each of these stocks individually, maintaining the balance between them, or keeping the same proportion, or selling, buying, managing the whole tracking, instead of doing all of that manually, you simply buy something called an index mutual fund, which tracks the Nifty 50 index. So depending on the weightage of Nifty 50 stocks within Nifty 50, they will keep rebalancing it. Whenever Nifty 50 index itself rebalances itself and changes its composition, the mutual fund will also track that change. Now that we understand what is an index fund, and if you have decided that you want to buy index funds, how do you buy it? Now there are many reasons why people buy index funds. It's in a way a low cost, low anxiety way of investing, and some people believe that it's very hard to beat the index by doing active investment or by picking stocks or mutual funds. So why not just invest in the index? I am not prophesizing a theory over here on what is the right way to invest your money. Please work with a certified financial planner for that. But to buy index funds, I have an account on this app called Dhan, and I have done my KYC and I have this account up and running. Over here, I can buy direct mutual funds, which are, I would say, cheaper to buy because the fees are less. And that's why we will go to the mutual funds tab over here and look for index funds to invest in. Now, the moment I sign in over here, I can see the live markets, I can see my portfolio, I can see my orders in progress, and there is a tab called Invest in Direct Mutual Funds. Over here, index funds are listed. So I will click on index funds. Now over here, there are Nifty 50 funds, there are Nifty Next 50, there are Nifty Small Cap, Nifty Mid Cap. Different kind of indexes have their own funds, including the Sensex as well. Now the good part is, since all of these funds are basically investing in the same instrument, which is a particular index, their returns are pretty much same, I would say similar. Now you will see a small difference in their returns. These could be for two reasons. A, the fees they charge is different, or B, there is something called a tracking error because someone has to actively keep rebalancing stocks and some amount of tracking error can happen as a result. Now a tracking error does not always mean you make less money. It may also happen that because of tracking error, certain fund makes more money, but that's not what we are looking at. Now, I am not selecting which of these to buy. I am just selecting the first one that shows up on the list and go ahead to research it and then buy it. In terms of research, I am basically looking at a few things. First up, I am scrolling down and I am looking at the scheme snapshot. My lump sum amount investable is 1000. If I want to invest lump sum, I can invest 1000 rupees. I can do SIP with as little as 100 rupees per month. The AUM of this fund is around 1600 crores, and you can see the expense is really low, 0.1%. We have seen so many funds that are in the 0.6% to 1% range, but this one is at 0.1% because again, there is no active research or decision making required by the mutual fund company who runs this. There is no lock-in period over here, but is there an exit load? Let's click on this button. There is no exit load. You can buy and sell anytime, which is fantastic. And that's what I expect from a mutual fund which is tracking the index. So we are going to go ahead and invest now. There is an SIP option. I have a detailed video on how to invest in SIPs. Do look at that. We will do a one-time investment. I'm going to put the amount over here as 1000 rupees and we are going to click invest now. Now remember, there are two ways to invest in index funds. One is ETFs. These are exchange traded funds, and then there are mutual funds. Someday in a future video, I can differentiate both of them for you. Do let me know in comments if you want me to make that video. For now, to begin this investment, I have to enter an OTP which has been sent to my registered mobile number. So I will go ahead and enter my OTP. Now there are three ways to make this payment. By UPI, I have my bank mandate already with Dhan because of SIP investments which are on autopay, and then there is net banking. For a small amount, I will just pick UPI. I have my bank account linked with Dhan. A UPI ID linked with that has been entered here. I will now click make investment of 1000 rupees. I have approved the payment of 1000 rupees on my UPI app, and this payment has been made. So this 1000 rupees has been paid, and this mutual fund purchase is now in process. Now one important thing to note is the NAV. NAV is like the price of the mutual fund. What price would be allotted to you? Now if I see the market falling on a certain day and I am trying to invest on that day, to catch the same day's price, because mutual funds update their price at the end of the day, to catch the same day's price, I generally invest before 12 noon. The cutoff times may vary. I have seen 12:30 as cutoff time. I have seen 2 p.m. as cutoff time for different funds. The various cutoff times for investing via Dhan, I will place in the description below as a link. But do remember, there is something called a cutoff time. Only if your investment reaches the AMC before this time, you will get the same day's NAV. I have seen mistakes happen over here. I have seen people not getting the same day NAV and getting upset over it. I am a long-term investor. I do not get upset over this thing very easily because I am not trying to time the market. I am a very passive investor. But again, that's something you have to factor into your strategy, which is your cutoff time. Please work with your certified financial planner to figure what is the right way to do it. My financial planner has told me do not fret about a single day's up and down, and that's what I do.